Hello developers, welcome to day 24 of the 30 days of JavaScript challenge. Today presents another opportunity for us to tackle challenges and enhance our understanding of JavaScript concepts. Let's dive in and make the most out of this learning journey. Today's challenge says, given an array R and a function fn, return a sorted array called sorted R. You can assume fn only returns numbers, and those numbers determine the sort order of the sorted array that will return. Then the sorted array must be sorted in ascending order by fn output. You may assume that fn will never duplicate numbers for a given array. So let us look at some examples. So example 1, the input is an array of 5, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Then the function fn takes a number, then returns that number. So the output of fn will just be 5, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Then these numbers are supposed to be sorted, and they'll be sorted from the smallest to the largest, that is the ascending order. That's why the output should be an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you can just look at example 2. Example 2, it's an array of objects. The first element of the array is an object with key x and value 1. The second one, key x, value 0. The third one, key x, value -1. Then the function fn takes in d. Let's say it takes in an object or any element of the array, then returns d dot x. So if in this first element it return 1, because d dot x is 1. In this second element it will return 0. This third element will return -1. So the numbers 1, 0, and -1 will be sorted in ascending order, and the smallest is -1, followed by 0, then the largest is 1. That's why in the output you see this first element will be first, this one that has the value -1, then followed by 0, then the last one is this one for 1. So that is how we're supposed to solve this challenge. Then the third example, it's an array of arrays. The first array is an array of 3 and 4, the next one 5 and 2, then 10 and 1. Then this function fn takes in the elements of this whole array, that is each individual array, then returns that array index 1. So in this first will return 4, because index 1 of this array is 4. This one will return 2, this one will return 1. So this one is the smallest, that's why you see here it's 10. Is this array that is this one that will become the first, then this will be the second, then this will be the last, as you can see here in the output. So that is how you're supposed to solve this challenge. Then the constraints are, the array should be a valid JSON array, and fn is a function that returns a number. So you're sure that fn will always return a number, and the length of the array should be between 1 and 5 times 10 power 5. So those are the constraints. So you can just dive right to the solution. Before we dive into the solution, let us first learn the Array.sort method. So the Array.sort method, it is used to sort elements of an array in place, and it returns the sorted array. And the default order is built upon converting the elements into strings, then comparing the sequence of the UTF-16 code unit values. So let us say I have an array of strings, so I'll just call it fruits. Then it will be an array of strings. So the first string, maybe say banana, that is the first fruit. Then let's say something like apple, then cherry, like that. So you can sort this in order by using the sort method. So I'll just call the array, then dot sort, like that. Then if I log this, if I log my fruits array now, it will be sorted. So I'll just log the fruits array, like that. Then now I expect it to be sorted in order. So if I run this code, you will see that the fruits array will be sorted. And you can see indeed my array was sorted from apple to cherry. So it sorts according to the alphabet. See, A comes before B and C in that order. So that is how the sort method works. But if you do the same with numbers, let us just look at an example with numbers. So maybe I just change this into numbers. So let us start first with simple numbers like a single digit number like that. I will separate them with a comma. So let's say I have an array of 5, 4, and 1. and allow me to call this a different name. Let me just call it numbers. I forgot to change this here, so I'll just change this numbers. So if I run this code, you'll see that the array, I think it will be sorted. Let's just confirm. The array has been sorted from the smallest to the largest. But now if you have some extra digits, like let's say I have something like, I add here, let's say something like 10, then let's say 67. Also add some, I'm just adding some random values here, some three-digit number. Then if I now run the code, let's see if it will be sorted in order. And you can see it was not sorted in order. You can see it's 1, 10, 4. So this means that this sort method did not work well with numbers. That is because we have seen at the beginning that it first converts these array elements into strings, then it compares the sequence of the UTF-16. So you can just search on UTF-16 and you see that this one is sorted according to the UTF-16, not according to the value that they hold. So to make our sort function flexible, we can add a compare function. So this sort method can take in a compare function inside here. And that function, you can see it says can take in a compare function. And this function takes in two digits, you can see here, A and B numbers, then returns a number. So let me just write the function here. So it will take a compare function that takes two numbers A and B, then returns something. So if I want to arrange these numbers, I can say something like A minus B. So if I say A minus B, it will return negative if A comes before B, and it will return 0 if A is equals to B, and it will return positive if A comes after B. So this way I'll sort the array from the smallest to the largest, in short, in the ascending order. So let me just run this code to confirm. I'm just using the same numbers that we used before. So you can see now indeed my array was sorted from the smallest to the largest correctly. And if I need to do the reverse, I'll just swap these numbers. I'll just say B minus A. So it will compare B minus A. If it is, so it will be the opposite now. If it is negative, it means that B comes before A. If it is positive, A comes after B, like that. And if it is 0, it means that A and B are equal. So this will sort the array from the largest to the smallest. So if I run this code, I expect it to start with 89, then to end with 1. And you can see indeed it started with 89 and ended with 1. So that is basically how the sort method works. So now that you know about the sort method, we can now comfortably solve this challenge. So let's go to the challenge. To solve this challenge, I'll create a function called SortBy. I'll use the anonymous function syntax, SortBy, like that, is equals to a function. Then after all, this function should take in an array R and a function fn. Then we're supposed to sort this array based on the values returned from this function. And each element of the array should be called on this function. Then the returned value is the values that we'll use to sort the array. So you can do that with the sort method that you already learned. So I can just say something like, let me just return the value. I'll return that array dot sort. And so that if you write it like that, if the number is like 2 digits, it might misbehave. So you have to add in our compare function. And so that our compare function takes in two values A and B, then returns if you return A minus B to sort it in ascending order. And that is how this challenge expects us to sort in ascending order. But now in this case, this will sort it according to each element of the array. But we are told not to sort according to each element of the array, but to sort according to the elements returned from this function. And this function is called with the items in the array. So I can call that function fn here. I can call it with the value that will be passed with A, like that. Then also here I call it with that fn again, with the value that passed from B. So the return value from A will be compared with the return value if this function is called with B. And just like how we have shown, the sort method will be, if the answer is positive, the value of this one will come before that. If it is 0, these two will be equal, so they can be placed beside each other. And if it is positive, the value of A should come after B. And that is how this should work. So it's just one line answer. So I can just test it with the example. Let me just try this example one. So I'll just copy this example one and paste it here. Then I'll say const, I missed the spelling, const array. And I say also const function. So if I now call my SortBy, so if I call SortBy with my defined array R and my function fn, then I want to log this result. So I'll just put it, I'll enclose it in console.log. Console.log. So I expect my output to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I'll just run to prove it. Fingers crossed. And indeed, I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can also try the example 2. I think example 2, yeah, example 2 was the one that was a little bit different. So I'll just copy this. It's a little bit complex. I'll just copy that to confirm also that also works. Then the function was also different. I'll just copy the function. Then I expect to see the array is -1 starting, then 0, then 1. But let us confirm it in the console. And you can see indeed it was that way. So it means that our code works. And that is it for, we can just try the example 3 also. Just try this because it's the last example. I thought that there were many, but there are just 3. Let me just finish with that example 3. So if I run this code, what is the expected output? Let me just check. Supposed to start at 10:1. I think there's an error. Didn't see the error. It's too fast. I duplicated array twice. This is the error here. Let me run it again. There's still another error. I don't know why this example 3 is misbehaving. Const array, where is it? Array 5. I think it's fine. Let me just save it and run it again. And you can see indeed I got 10, 1, then another array of 5 and 2, and the last array of 3 and 4. And that is the expected output here. So yeah, our code works. That is it for this video. See you in the next video. Peace out.